I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to consciously forget about your problems, and I'm going to remove negative connotation around forgetting your problems as being like this bad thing. Because what I truly believe is that forgetting your problems is not only not a bad thing, not only is it not running away or running away from your problems, I think it's a crucial, necessary component that every single person needs in order to feel a fulfilling and peaceful life. That's just the truth of the matter. Because the thing is that there's going to be many things that make you focus on your past. Like it's almost like this emotional pull to be focused on your past and why the past is important. Why you need to be focused on your past and why the past needs to define your identity. Why the past, it's like, oh, focus, deal with the past, face your trauma, and I'm not saying that dealing with trauma, dealing with the past is bad, but what I am saying though is that you can get hung up on these things and you can sort of get to this point where it's almost like your trauma just becomes you. And I don't want this for any person, you know what I mean? I don't want any person to feel like their past and their trauma is something that needs to define them, because it doesn't. And I'm going to make it, so clear in this video that focusing on your future and who you want and doing this on purpose so that your problems are kind of something that like you forget about. I'm going to share with you how that's actually a good thing and how that's actually essential to your well-being. So let's talk about that in this video. So what I want to start off this video with is to understand that if you want to forget about your problems consciously, and also understanding that it's not a bad thing, which I'm going to get deeper to that in a moment, but just to start off, if you want to actually do this, the first thing that you want to do is be so focused on your goals that you actually forget about your past. That's just so beautiful in my opinion, because what's going to happen is that there's going to be so many opportunities in your life to be focused on the past, or you need to be, continually focused on who you used to be. And, you might even have people in your life being like, oh, focus on your past, you got to deal with this, you got to focus on your past. But actually, you got to understand that your purpose and mission is in this present moment. And in this present moment is also the gateway to stepping into your desired future, because your desired future exists in this present moment. Okay? And so what happens is that if you start saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to be focused on my future more than who I used to be. I'm going to focus on my future more than who I used to be. What you'll find is that you're going to be so focused on your goals, you're going to be so focused on where you're going that you quite literally forget about your past. And here's the thing, your past and the mistakes that you've made in your past, that wisdom, that trauma that you experienced, that negativity is now going to be, it's not going to be processed as wisdom in your body. So it's not that you're going to forget it in the sense that, like you don't have access to that wisdom. You're still going to have access to the wisdom. You're still going to have access to using that mistake to your advantage so that you don't repeat the same mistake. You're still going to have access to that wisdom. But what's going to happen though is that you're not going to be stuck in that pattern of resistance and something that maybe creates suffering in your life. You're going to be able to move forward and become that person that you want to be and not allow that past to define you. So you're still going to have the wisdom, but you're not going to allow the mistakes and the negative emotions to define you. So your problems are still going to be there in the sense that you're going to have access to wisdom, but the problems aren't going to be there in the sense that you're not going to be reviving the emotional negativity of the past in this present moment. So you're not going to allow that past to define you. And honestly, again, I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, these people that are working hard on their businesses, working on their mission, it's like, oh, these people are just running away from the traumas. It's like, well, what's the alternative? What's the alternative? Is the alternative to be, hung up on, the negativity and the fear? What's the alternative, right? Because at some point you have to say, you know what? This past emotion is not me. You're not gonna allow that emotion to define you anymore. And so you got to take responsibility and initiative and say, you know what, this past emotion, I'm not going to allow this to define who I am anymore. That's the key, right? So the second part that I want to share with you in this video is to understand that what angers you controls you. Okay, if there's a problem in your life that angers you, whether it's coming from a person or whether that's something that you're doing, okay, if it angers you, it controls you. If you let something make you angry, you're giving it your power. Okay, so if you're letting something make you angry and you want to point fingers and you want to blame and you want to judge, you got to understand that you're literally giving it power. So you got to learn to take control of your vibration. And actually, some people don't relate with that explanation. The vibration, energy, and it is all vibration. It is all energy. But what you want to do though is see it as you got to control your emotions. You got to control it, because if you let your emotions, if you let your emotions go out of check, you will not be creating the reality that you actually want for yourself. So what you want to do though is see that if something makes you angry, you're actually giving it your power. So you want to let this go. You want to not allow things to make you angry. You want to not allow things to take away your power. You want to take responsibility and say, you know what? If this thing is making me angry, I'm giving it power. So don't let something bring your vibration out of balance. Don't let it happen. Because it's not even that you want to say like, oh, this thing is taking your energy. It's not even like that. It's like, it could be true in some cases, but you want to see it as like, you know what? I'm letting my vibration be out of control. That's how you want to see these challenges in your life. Because that's the truth. That's the truth. The truth is that you're letting your frequency drop. And that's something you have to take responsibility for. You know what I mean? And it's something that you want to be like, you know what? I am letting this thing make me angry. And I'm going to start taking control over my energy in this moment, because I don't want this. I don't want to believe that this thing has the ability to take my power. You know what I mean? I think the biggest virus of all is believing that a virus can infect you. You know what I mean? I think one of the biggest viruses is believing that you can be infected. So if you want to get to a space where, things don't control you, don't believe that they can control you. If you believe something can control you, that is how it gains control over you. You see what I'm saying? If you believe that something can manipulate you, that is how you get manipulated in the first place. You know what I mean? If you believe that something can take your power, there's somebody out to get you, that you're paranoid about these things happening to you, not to say that you shouldn't be alert, not to say that you shouldn't be aware, not to say that you should be unconscious of, the detrimental things that can be impacting your energy. But what I'm saying though is that you can be conscious of something, but not allow it to define who you are, not allow it to define your internal state of being. You can see the chaos in the world, but not allow it to define your internal state of being. So if you believe that something can manipulate you, something can control you, something can take your energy, something is manipulating you, then that's how it gets your power, right? So the first step is to realize that, you know what, if this thing is making me angry, then I need to let go of this anger, because, as difficult as it may be, that's how you get your power actually back. The way you get your power back is by believing that you control your state of being from within. You control your state of being, okay? So don't let something anger you. I'm not saying to not feel your emotions, right? You should, because there's nothing wrong with anger necessarily at all. Anger is just an emotion. But what I'm saying though is that if something makes you angry, use that as a tool. And again, if something makes you angry, anger is not bad. Anger is a good emotion. If you feel anger, that it is what it is, right? But you can get to a point where you use that anger as a tool to see where you believe that you are out of your power. Use that anger as a tool. Use that anger as a tool. Rather than letting the anger pull you towards more anger, rather than letting the anger make you more angry, rather than getting reactive to the reactions, right? Because you can get angry, but then what happens is that you can get angry about the fact that you're angry. You can get angry, but then you can get angry at the fact that you're angry, and then get angry at that, and then angry at that, and then before you know it, you've completely lost touch with your balance and who you naturally are. And that's a downward spiral of negativity that I don't wish upon anybody. You know what I mean? So to conclude this video, what I want to share with you is that if you want to forget about your problems consciously, use that anger as a tool to help you go back into balance. So if you feel angry, feel the anger, right? Don't resist it, but then you feel that anger and you say to yourself, you know what? This anger, I'm going to use this as a tool to get back into balance and harmony. Use the anger as a tool. The anger is communicating to you where you're not resonating with some kind of energy or belief system in your body. You know what I mean? That's what anger and like jealousy, all these emotions, all these you could say negative or you could say lower emotions are simply communicating to you where it's time for you to take responsibility of your power once again. Okay, so with that, I conclude this video. Hope this video was beneficial for you. Excuse me. I sincerely hope this was valuable for you. Leave a comment down below what you think. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next video.